The pyramid was not small. That is the first lie the desert tells after enough centuries have passed. What stands before us now may not be the whole thing. It may be the surviving shell, the visible peak of a system whose true body once reached downward, inward, and beneath the plateau into a hidden architecture of chambers, pressure, resonance, and control. A crown without the skull beneath it. And that changes the question. Because if the pyramid was once larger, if what we see now is only the weathered remainder of a greater mechanism, then we are not looking at a building. We are looking at the ruin of a function. The Great Pyramid does not explain itself. It stands there like a sealed statement from another age, and every generation breaks it open according to its own obsessions. Tomb, power plant, battery, initiation chamber, resonance machine, soul engine. But maybe the deeper possibility is stranger than all of them. Maybe it was not built simply to store the dead. Maybe it was built to move the living and the dead between states. Maybe the pharaoh was never meant to remain merely human inside that architecture. Maybe the structure was part throne, part receiver, part transmitter. A machine not of crude gears, but of geometry, proportion, pressure, sound, orientation, and consciousness itself. A machine for upload, a machine for download, a machine for passage. Because what if the pyramid was designed to do what the modern world still dreams about in clumsy language? To preserve identity, to transfer mind, to maintain continuity of consciousness, to allow traversal between realms rather than simple burial in one. If sacred structures were designed as calibrated instruments rather than symbolic decorations, then the pyramid stops looking like a tomb and starts looking like a device, not necessarily an electrical device in the modern sense. Something stranger, a field device, a consciousness device, a threshold engine. And if that engine once extended deep underground, then the visible pyramid may have only been the upper register of a much larger system. The public sees the monument, the initiated know the depths. The surface declares power. The underworld performs it. That is my theory. That the Giza pyramid was larger. That it possessed a massive underground mechanism. That associated underground structures were not incidental, but part of a buried system. And that the pharaohs used it not simply to be buried, but to upload and download consciousness and traverse realms. Not a grave, a transfer station. Not a memorial, a launch architecture. The official explanation tells you the pharaoh went in and stayed in. But what if he went in so that something could come out? Not the body, the signal, the pattern, the royal continuity, the consciousness stream carried forward across realms. In that sense, the pyramid would not be about death at all. It would be about defeating interruption. Now, honesty matters here. We do not have mainstream archaeological proof that pharaohs literally uploaded and downloaded consciousness through a subterranean pyramid mechanism. We do not have a recovered manual. We do not have an operational reconstruction. But what we do have is a structure too deliberate to dismiss, too strange to flatten, and too symbolically charged to reduce to just a tomb without insulting the intelligence of its builders. Maybe it succeeded, maybe it partially succeeded, maybe it failed. Maybe what survives is only the husk of an experiment whose full operation required pieces now gone, buried, broken, or erased. But the theory survives because the pyramid still feels like more than a grave. It feels like an instrument so old, so damaged, and so misunderstood that all anyone can do now is argue over the remaining shell while the true mechanism sleeps below the level of accepted thought. The pyramid remains silent, reduced, immense. A question in stone, not asking whether the ancients were primitive, but whether we are advanced enough to recognize a technology when it no longer looks like our own.